Hey everyone, Dark here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the new map for Ark Mobile and what the new map might be, what can we expect, what do we hope for, what are all of our dreams for the new map for Ark Mobile. And yes, I really think we're going to get a new map soon. I really do. I think we're going to get a new map by the end of the year at least. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we get one in June in the 30th anniversary update, but at the very least, I think we're going to get one by the end of the year. I really do. If I was a bet man, that's what I put my money on. Anyways, we're going to speculate, we're going to theorize, we're going to talk about just what we hope for the new map. Anyways, let's go ahead and dive in. And if you do enjoy the video, please hit that like button. It'll really help me out. Also, subscribe if you'd like to see more content and if you haven't already. Anyways, let's hop in. This is obviously the island. This is the very first map, the current map, the only map that we currently have. But let's hop into some more ideas. So essentially there are two different types of options we could have in terms of a new map. The first option would be one of the pre-existing maps on Ark on PC and console. The other option would be to get a mobile exclusive map. Now before we talk about possibilities and what to expect and what to hope for mobile exclusive, let's just talk about the already pre-existing maps and which ones might be likely to be moved to mobile and which might not, right? So in no specific order, let's look at the center. The center is an older map. It's a great map. I wouldn't be surprised if this was one that they integrated and changed to mobile, just because it's been around a lot longer than the newer maps, obviously. The biggest thing, in my opinion, that would make this map, I don't want to say held back, but would make it less likely to be put onto mobile, would be the fact that there's that huge, like, underground cave. The only reason I think that's less likely to come to the mobile version of the game is because of meshing and the ways that the rendering works and the meshing works. Mobile's a lot different than PC and console. The graphics aren't as good. The rendering, the abilities of the phone, they're just not as good. So when you start having different layers and underground caves and caverns, and there's obviously caves in mobile, but not like the giant underground cave that's in the center, right? Not like Aberration, things like that. That I think is less likely to come to mobile. So I don't think we're gonna get the center. It'd be awesome if we did. I kind of doubt it though. Next would be Scorched Earth. Scorched Earth I could see being a map for Ark Mobile. I could totally see this being a map that is brought over to Ark Mobile. The two downsides would be, out of all the current maps on PC and console, I'm pretty sure Scorched Earth is one of the least popular, if not the least popular. So I don't know that they would specifically choose this map to come over to mobile. Also, there's a lot more environmental effects and a lot more different variables to account for in the game itself. So they would have to add in a lot of new features to make a map like Scorched Earth work the way it should. So that's kind of like the pros and cons there. But it would also be a cool map. It would be a huge change, obviously, because it's like polar opposite of the island. I mean, there's desert surrounding the whole map instead of the ocean, right? So, I mean, it would be cool for sure. The next option would be Ragnarok. Now, this one, I actually really like this one being changed to mobile. I think this would be a fantastic mobile map. The pros of this map are obviously that it's huge. There's a lot of stuff going on with this map. I mean, it's like, isn't it like 4 times the size of the island? It's huge, guys. It's huge. And there's just a lot of different stuff going on this map. This would be a fantastic map for Ark Mobile. And honestly, I'd love it. Now, it's not a con, it's not a downside, but the one thing that makes it questionable on whether or not it would actually be brought to mobile. And every map has would they put that on mobile? Does that make it easier or tougher? But for this map, it's the size of it, because Ark Mobile, obviously you have to think about what's going to lag your phone and restrict certain phones from actually having the capabilities to play the game. Ragnarok's a huge map, so there's obviously going to be lag issues, rendering issues, phone related issues. The question is, could they make this map in a way where it's a light enough load on your phone to actually make it work? My guess is if they use this map, maybe they take a quarter of it or like a third of it. Like maybe they take from the top left corner down to like midway through the desert. So they just like cut off, here and here, something like that. I could see them doing something like that for this map. That would make it work, right? Now the other part of this map is they obviously have the Wyverns flying around, which they have the Wyverns also on Scorched Earth. We didn't really talk about that. But and this holds true for all the different map ideas though. But you know, when you talk about Wyverns, you talk about Crystal Wyverns, you talk about some of the creatures in Genesis, a lot of the other creatures, they obviously can't move some of these creatures to mobile because they're too difficult on the phone, and the different abilities that the creatures have just don't work for phones. It's just too heavy and creates too much lag, and you literally have to deal with major lag through every single encounter. So for that reason, a lot of creatures will be held out, right? A lot of creatures won't be implemented. Now, obviously, if we get a new map, guys, not if, because we're gonna get a new map. I'm 99% sure, I'm 100% sure, I really am. But when we get a new map, we're gonna get new creatures. That's got to be a guarantee. Like, they're not gonna give us a new map and not give us any new creatures. When we get a new map with new creatures, there's going to be some good ones, but there's going to be ones that people hope for that we probably won't get. I mean, we're not going to get Wyverns. I'd be very surprised if we got Wyverns. But anyways, back to the topic of maps. This map, to me, could be very likely. I could totally see Ragnarok being the map that they change over to mobile. Next on the list is Aberration. And we kind of already touched on this a little bit, but I don't think we're going to get Aberration. It'd be awesome. It'd be super cool. I doubt it, though. Only because, like I said, meshing is such a problem, and on mobile it's even easier to mesh on mobile, especially when you're dealing with like underground stuff. And Aberration is almost 99% underground, so there'd be way too much meshing and opportunity for meshing. I don't think they're going to implement Aberration. It'd be really cool if they did. I really doubt it, though. Next on the list, we have the Extinction Map. Extinction is another one that I kind of doubt that we'll get. I don't think we're going to get Extinction. The reason I say that is because of all the different elements of the map. The map itself is the amount of resources you can get. It's totally different. And they say that when Extinction was added to PC, it broke the meta, the game, in a lot of ways, because, at least for PvP, because it was so much easier to get like element and stuff like that. It was so much easier to get certain resources on this map that it just unbalanced the game by a lot. I don't think they're going to bring this over to mobile for that reason. And plus, element on mobile is a totally different setup and a different system than on PC and console. So Extinction itself would have to be very different. Now, the other thing to note, though, about the Extinction Map is the way the map is actually set up. There's 5 different regions that are all surrounded by like that desert, barren type, everything's corrupted landscape. There's the hidden tree forest area in the top left. There's the snow region in the top right, desert in the bottom right, and there is like a sulfuric area in the bottom left. And then there's the city in the center. Each of these 5 regions basically have different creatures. They're like their own little bubble. They all have different creatures, different environments, different setups. It's kind of like Genesis, to be honest. It's kind of a similar setup to Genesis, except with all this mid-region between all of them, and obviously a different map. And obviously Genesis has missions, which is totally different than the rest of Ark on PC and console. But that being said, it wouldn't surprise me if we got smaller maps for Ark Mobile. Okay, so the island is a full-blown map, right? What if on mobile we got a smaller like 2x2 or 3x3 map? I kind of talked about this a little bit in my update video that I did last week. I put a video up last week with regards to the new spring update, and I talked a little bit about a new map possibility because of some things that the developer said. You should watch it. I'll put a link on the video in the top right corner. Check it out if you'd like, if you haven't seen it already. But that being said, I talked about it a little bit at the end there. The whole idea of a smaller map that's integrated into mobile, and then they could integrate multiple smaller maps that way. It's a lot easier and quicker to take a pre-made smaller map and make it into a mobile map instead of taking an entire huge map, because the island took them like a couple years to change over to mobile, and that's when they released the mobile app. Like, imagine them having to do that again and again and again every 2 or 3 years, releasing a new map. What if instead of that, they took a map that's a fifth the size, okay? So 20% of the regular map. And then they had a new mobile map coming out every like 5 or 6 months. Like, just imagine that. That's what could be done with smaller maps if they did it that way. That's why I kind of think that's a possibility. But anyways, we'll get more into that with the Genesis version. But just remember that this could hold true for Extinction too. We could get the snow region. We could get the desert region. We could get the sulfuric region. Maybe we get some fire arrows finally. How cool would that be? Honestly, I don't think we'll get that though, because the fire's too heavy on the phones. But maybe we get the city. Maybe we just get the city as a map. Like, maybe that's what happens. Maybe the underground tree. I don't think we get the underground tree area for the same reason as Aberration. But maybe we get something like that. That would not surprise me. Next map to talk about is Guerrero. I personally have not played this map a whole lot, I'll be honest. So I don't know the layout well enough to know if it's a likely map. What I've seen from other videos that I have watched personally, it's a possibility. The only reason I say this isn't as likely to become a mobile map is because this wasn't actually created by Ark PC developers. This is one of the maps that just turned into an official map because it was originally a mod. Kind of like Crystal Isles, kind of like I should really study up my Ark history a little more. I don't remember, but I think it was the center that was, or Ragnarok. The center of Ragnarok, one of those was like community or a mod, or it was made by somebody else, and then it became an official map. I don't remember. I can't remember off the top of my head, but anyways, that's why I don't think Guerrero will become a mobile map, because it wasn't originally made by the Ark developers. Therefore, it's not as likely to be turned into one of the maps for mobile. But the layout of it, I'm sure it's a possibility. Next up is Crystal Isles. This one I don't think we'll get. The reason being is because the whole focus of this map is Crystal Wyverns, and I don't think we're going to get Wyverns. So I'd be very surprised if we got this map. It'd be cool. I don't think we'll get it. There's also certain sections of the ocean in this map that aren't done because this was originally a modded map as well. So there's actually areas in this map that aren't even totally finished. So I doubt we'll get Crystal Isles. Next up on the list, guys, is Genesis. This is the one, and just like I said a little bit ago when we were talking about Extinction, and just like I said in my spring update video that I did a week ago, this is what I think we're gonna get on mobile. My marbles are in this basket. I think we are going to get a Genesis map. I do not, however, think we're gonna get the entire map. I don't think we're gonna get that. So let's be clear about that. I think we're gonna get smaller maps. This is it's legit what I think. I think we're gonna get a small volcanic map, a small snow map, things like that. That we'll get one. I really think we're gonna get a map by the end of the year. I think we'll get one smaller map by the end of the year, and maybe we'll get another small one the following year, and so on and so on. That would basically create new content on a regular basis that's easier to change and release on a regular basis. Now, in Genesis Part 1, out of the 5 regions, I'm like 99% sure we're not going to get the lunar region. Like, that's not going to happen. The physics in the lunar region are too crazy. I don't think we're going to get that. However, the snow region, the volcanic region, I could totally see happening. That could happen. Also, Ark Mobile developers love lava, so volcanic region would not surprise me. The bog would actually be super cool for mobile. I don't think we'll get it though, because I don't think they're gonna bring Bloodstalkers to mobile. I really don't. Those would be too difficult to not only control on phones, but also for the lag because they move so fast. So I don't think we're gonna get Bloodstalkers. Therefore, I don't think we'll get the bog. The ocean, I could see us getting. The ocean, it's basically like Aberration. It goes down, right? But it's all underwater. There's a lot of underwater aspects to it. So I could actually see us getting the ocean biome, and then allowing flyers though, because it's mobile, and maybe they also implement the vacuum compartments for underwater. That would be a new tech that they could implement for Ark Mobile. I think that would be super cool. Now, obviously Genesis has missions. I don't think they're going to bring missions into Ark Mobile. However, That would be pretty cool if you could do missions and maybe you got like small quantities of amber from them instead of hexagons. That would be super cool, but I doubt it. We're probably more likely to stick to the pursuit system that they currently have. But Genesis, I think, is likely. And to go back to my previous point, Extinction, same exact concept. So let's just speculate here for a second. What if in the next 2 years we got 4 new maps? What if by the end of this year we got 1 map? Halfway through the following year, 2022, we got another map. By the end of 2022, we got a 3rd map, and then 2023, we got a 4th map. Believe it or not, that's not crazy to think. We're coming up on the 3rd anniversary of Ark Mobile. The 1st anniversary was Dungeons. That was the whole Dungeons ordeal. The 2nd anniversary, we were midway through fighting hackers and cheaters. Believe it or not, that took new content away. Yeah, I said it. Anyways, 3rd anniversary, we're going to get a new map soon, guys. 100%. We're going to get a new map either on the 3rd anniversary in June or by the end of the year. If it's an entire huge brand new map, that would be awesome. But I really think the future for Ark Mobile, considering it's going to take a long time to do large maps, if they do these little maps, like, it won't take nearly as long as the large maps. I mean, obviously, each of these maps, whether it's a Genesis map or a huge map, like, they're not going to bring in every single creature that's on the PC version and the console version of that map. We're going to have different creatures. So, for example, if they took the volcanic region, we're not going to get Magmasaurs. Like, Magmasaurs are going to be way too heavy for the phones. It's not going to work. It's going to be way too laggy. We're not going to get Magmasaurs. But that doesn't mean we can't get the map with different creatures on it. We could totally get different creatures on the same map. It's realistic to think that. And it's also realistic to think that this single volcanic map could be turned into a mobile map a lot faster than something like the Center or Scorched Earth could be turned into a mobile map. That's not unrealistic to think that, guys. That could be where we're heading. We could get the volcanic region by the end of this year, get the ocean region the following year. Maybe we get the snow region from Extinction at the end of the following year, and then maybe we get the city the year after that. Like, that's kind of what I think is going to happen. That's what I hope is going to happen. But again, guys, I'm just speculating. I don't know that this is what's going to happen. The developers don't tell me things that they haven't said to the rest of you. I don't have any additional insight compared to the rest of you. However, logically speaking, smaller maps make sense. And logically speaking, we're going to get a new map by the end of the year, just based on the amount of time that has passed and the way the developers have approached the idea of a new map when compared to the way they did in the past. Anyways, the last option, right, that we could get for a new map for Ark Mobile would be an exclusive map. A mobile exclusive map would be amazing, obviously, because it'd be special. It'd be something that could actually bring players from other platforms to the mobile version. It's something that the mobile version would have that the PC and console versions would not have, right? Kind of like Dungeons. That was the whole thing with Dungeons, is it made mobile its own special game, right? So a mobile exclusive map would be cool for the exact same reason. However, back to logic, I doubt that's what we're going to get, because I would imagine taking a pre-existing map, even if it is for a much stronger platform like PC and console, I would imagine taking a map like that and changing it and adjusting it to fit a mobile version would be easier than creating an entire new map. But that being said, I'm also not a professional developer, so I could be wrong, right? Like, maybe it is just as difficult or easy to make an exclusive map. Maybe they want to do new maps every 2 to 3 years and not more often, and the way to do that is an exclusive map. Maybe doing something exclusive for mobile compared to taking a pre-existing map is a difference of like a few months, and based on that logic, it makes sense to do something special and exclusive for mobile, right? If they did a mobile exclusive map, I would hope that they would obviously include, ocean biomes. I'd hope they include a snow region, something that's like swamp-like. I genuinely hope that if they did something like that, they included an actual volcanic region with lava. Right now on mobile, they have the volcano, obviously, but there's no lava on the island except for the lava cave. Like, they did that on purpose for mobile. I hope they can actually implement lava, though, into the main map if they do an exclusive map. I think that'd be really cool. But yeah, those are the different options. That's kind of the speculation for a new map for Ark Mobile. I think it's going to be smaller versions from Genesis and or Extinction. Something exclusive would be awesome as well. But the last thing I do want to talk to you guys, I really want to talk to you guys about this. Let's talk about some creatures too. Let's speculate, guys. Let's get into this. Let's talk about some new potential creatures. So I'm over here on Dodo Decks. I've just got a list of all the creatures on here. We're not looking up anything special. We're just kind of like scroll our eyes through this and just talk about some big ones and whether or not they make sense. Obviously, the main big one is the Wyverns. You got Crystal Wyverns, regular Wyverns. I don't think we're going to get Wyverns. They're going to be too heavy on the phone. That being said, though, flying creatures, gas bags, would not be crazy to think. We could get gas bags. Would they be as useful on a map for mobile? Maybe, maybe not. But we could totally get gas bags. I also think we are going to get the Seagulls. I'd be surprised if when we get a new map, if we don't get the Seagulls on Ark Mobile, because everybody hates Seagulls and Troodons. And it's because they are a pain in the butt. But they are part of the game. I would not be surprised if we got that. The Moths would actually be kind of cool to get, and those would bring silk with whips. So that would actually not surprise me either to bring to mobile. Those would be kind of cool, but I don't know if the special attacks in the Moth would be too heavy on the phone, just like, Wyvern attacks, because it's got that powder that it releases. I don't know how that would affect the mobile system. Aside from that, I don't know if we could probably expect to get a Vulture. A Vulture would be cool. I could see us getting Vultures on mobile. Snow Owls. Snow Owls are an interesting potential addition for mobile. If we got Snow Owls on mobile, that would be awesome. However, I don't know if we'd actually have that healing effect they have on PC. I don't know how well that would work on mobile to implement that move. If they could do it, awesome. But even if they can't, would a Snow Owl still be worth having? I think so, because it'd pretty much be like an Argentavis with the ability to dive like a Griffin, and it also produces fertilizer with the Snow Owl pellets. So I could actually see them using a Snow Owl as the big new flyer for mobile. I could see that being a thing. So my guess, we'll get Seagulls, we'll get Snow Owls, maybe Vultures, maybe gas bags, and the Moths. For a new map on mobile, we'd get those as new creatures. In terms of flyers, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what we got. Now for the swimming creatures, this one, there's not a whole lot more that could really make sense to add, but there is one big one that I actually think we're going to get. That is the Megalanias, which is another reason I wouldn't be surprised if we got the the water biome for Genesis. The Megalanias makes sense to actually move to mobile. It doesn't have any super special moves. It's just a huge creature that acts as an underwater platform base, which for mobile would be awesome, right? Like even on the island on mobile, I could see someone using these. It's just like a raft that can go underwater and is living and is huge. And it's not going to break the meta either, because in mobile you don't soak you don't soak turrets in PvP. You try to destroy the turrets. It's a little bit of a different process. So even the high HP isn't going to just suddenly break PvP and break the balance in mobile. So I could totally see us getting these giant turtles for Ark Mobile. I'd be surprised if we didn't get those, because those would be a cool new creature to add. It's even somewhat new to PC because it was just released in Genesis. And if they bring that to mobile, that'd be awesome. Next on the list, let's look at land creatures. Land creatures, there's a lot here we could get. There's a lot that we probably couldn't get. I don't think, like I said, we're not going to get a Bloodstalker. Basilisk, maybe? We could get a Basilisk, but at the same time, I don't know if they'd be likely or not. I don't know. But it's not unlikely, right? Bulbdog would kind of be a cute creature to have to light up during nighttime. That would be kind of cool to implement. It's not going to be anything special, but it'd be kind of cool. Let's look further down. Deinonychus. Those would be super cool to bring to mobile. I don't know if they'd implement those or not, but those would be like an upgrade to a raptor, because they can also latch on to cause bleed damage. So those would be super cool. Aside from that, a Ferox would actually be super cool, because the Ferox has some really cool, interesting abilities, and combine that with the element effect on it, and there is element in mobile, you could use it. You could pretty much take a Ferox and transfer it to a mobile version where the element upgrades it to that bigger version of the creature. That I could actually see happening. I would not be surprised if we got Ferox in Ark Mobile, actually. I would bet if we get a snow region, we could get a Ferox. I wouldn't even be surprised. I wouldn't expect it, but I wouldn't be surprised if we got that, because that would be sweet. So, that would definitely be super cool. Hyenas, wouldn't be surprised if we get those. Gotchas, maybe we could get gotchas. That wouldn't be something that's too unlikely. These Kentrosaurs, those would be pretty cool. Wouldn't be too surprising. The giant crabs should definitely come to Ark Mobile. Like, that's a super cool creature. They've been around long enough. They could be easily implemented into Ark Mobile. That I could see them adding. The Mana Gardeners, these I don't think they're going to add to Ark Mobile. I really do not think they will add Mana Gardeners. The reason is they are way too fast. They will lag at the game. They will crash the game. It won't work. It would be cool though, but I doubt it. The Mantises, those would be super cool. I would not be surprised if we got Mantis. Megalanias would be pretty cool. Those, I don't know if they will implement though or not. I mean, maybe. A lot of these could go either way, I mean, really. Aside from that, I don't think we're going to get mechs. I think we're going to be able to ride Muschops. I really do. I think that's going to be something they actually include in a sooner rather than later update. I think we'll be able to ride Muschops. Especially since their spring update picture was literally a picture of a Muschops. They tend to do things like that. So, I would not be surprised if we get to ride these someday soon. Microraptors wouldn't be too unbelievable. Ovis, I don't think they're going to implement Ovis. The only reason I say that is there's no need. In mobile, with the Amber and the Chef Station and being able to get kibble super easily, there's not really a need for the raw mutton. So I don't know that Ovis is ever going to be something that they actually implement into the game. Rock Drakes? Rock Drakes, maybe. I don't know how fast they are when they glide. But that could be something they actually could implement into the game. I doubt we'll get Reapers just because it'd be kind of a weird taming type of situation. Maybe. Ravagers would be cool. Let's see. Let's keep scrolling down. Roll Rats could be implemented as an early game tame. What is a Shinehorn? Titan Boas, I think they will make it to where you can tame those. I think those will be tameable. Thorny Dragons could definitely be added. Thylas, I would bet I bet a lot of money would get Thylas. Thylas have been asked since Ark Mobile was originally released. They've been asked for since it was released. If they don't include Thylas with the new maps, there's gonna be a lot of pissed off players. Like, they could legitimately implement Wyverns, Mana Gardeners, mobile exclusive maps, Genesis maps, a whole bunch of stuff in Ark Mobile and not include a Thyla, and people would be pissed off. So pretty sure they're gonna have Thylas. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Velonosaurs, I hope they implement Velonosaurs. The reason I say that is because they'll implement a new defensive strategy for defending bases in Ark Mobile. They essentially act as a new type of turret. I really hope they implement Velonosaurs when they do implement a new map. I really do. Utis, maybe. Wouldn't be surprising to see them. Wouldn't be surprising not to see them. The bosses, I'm sure when they do release a new map that we'll have new bosses for the dungeon, but that's obviously a little different. But anyways, that's what I hope for. Let me know your thoughts. What do you guys think? What do you think we're going to get creature-wise? What do you think we're going to get map-wise? And what do you hope for? You know, do you hope that we get Aberration, but you really don't think we will? Let me know. Do you think that we're going to get... You think we're going to get Lunar Region and Genesis? Leave me a comment. Let me know why. Why do you think that would... I mean, obviously be awesome. I mean, obviously, but... Why do you think that would actually be likely? You know, I want to know. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. I might do some more speculation videos sometime in the next month because, you know, I think over the course of the next year, we're going to get a lot of teasers, you know, little things here and there about a new map coming up. I really do. I really think we're going to get a new map this year. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Also, leave me a like the video. It'll really help me out. It lets YouTube know that it's a good video and they go share it with other viewers. Anyways, last but not least, subscribe if you haven't already, and I stream weekly Tuesday nights 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All the links are in the description down below for all of my different Discords, Twitter, Facebook, social media accounts. My name is Dark, and I will see you next time.